that there's a political trap in this. Don't hate on the idea of sending people a check. Everybody wants a check for the government. But do you believe there's risk here in terms of not delivering?
Look, I don't want a check from the government. I won't take it.
I'll take your check. Done.
No, I wouldn't give it to you. Not giving it to you.
In this video, Bill O'Reilly joins Chris Cuomo on his show on News Nation. Chris Cuomo and Bill O'Reilly, along with Stephen A. Smith, discuss the effectiveness of DOGE and its efforts thus far. With that, let's watch Bill O'Reilly destroy Chris Cuomo.
Stephen A. Smith, host of the Stephen A. Smith, of course, and the one and only Bill O'Reilly right next to me. And our seats have been adjusted so that I strangely look taller than he does. How do you like that, Stephen A? How do you like that little trick I pulled there on your boy?
What's up? What's up, fellas? It's pretty hard to look taller than Bill O'Reilly, but I see you trying. I see you trying.
He is much taller. We have a big announcement to make. We'll do it right after the first break. But let me ask each of you guys to kind of break down. I said before the show, Bill, that there's a political trap in this. Don't hate on the idea of sending people a check. Everybody wants a check for the government. But do you believe there's risk here in terms of not delivering?
Look, I don't want a check from the government. I won't take it.
I'll take your check. Done.
No, I wouldn't give it to you. Not giving it to you. And the little chair trick, I did not know about that. And he has extra makeup to look better than me, too.
Yep, full coat of paint.
And then no one knows why Stephen A. is in Miami, and Stephen A. doesn't know why he's down there. He just went. But anyway, I don't like this deal because I think that any waste has to come off the federal debt, has to go back to the Treasury. That is the big story that nobody wants to pay attention to. I don't think you'd be sending checks to anybody at this point in history. You got to get that debt down. That's what DOGE should be doing. Get the government spending under control, wipe the departments out that don't deserve to be there. Department of Education, we don't need that. Trump is right. Get it back to the states. I pay my school taxes locally. School board runs it. Why should there be a Department of Education? Unless there's some kind of illegality going on where a school would ban a certain race, but then you can let the Justice Department handle that. So this gimmick, and it's a gimmick, and I don't like that. Just get the budget under control, Congress, and cut out the waste, put it in the Treasury, bring down the debt and deficit.
Stephen, how do you like to play?
I completely agree with Bill on this, and I love the fact that he pointed out Congress, because if you really think about it, that's where the real problem lies. You've got to have people in the House of Representatives that have some guts, that know how to think for themselves, that remember where their principles lie. If you're a conservative, what are the kind of things that you preach about? Yes, you preach about free market capitalism and what have you. You also talk about cutting down our debt. Well, this is an opportunity to do so, since Trump is bloviating out there that's exactly what he intends to do. Well, hold him to it. You know, you definitely have the power to do that, as opposed to really being complicit and acquiescing to anything that he wants. I don't think that's the wisest play in the world. The other thing that I want to bring up, that I think this is old bait and switch, to be quite honest with you. I think that it's a bunch of smoke and mirrors. Trump is doing a lot of talking, but in the end, I think he's trying to bait the debate.
This is a long clip, so I won't talk long, but I understand what Bill O'Reilly is saying about not wanting a check from the government. Completely understand that the debt needs to be paid down. Now, if I hear any Democrat telling me, oh, the Americans don't need a check, we need to pay down the debt, I will have zero time for them, and that information will go in one ear and out the other, because they certainly haven't cared about paying down the debt when they're sending however much they're sending to Ukraine or to Israel, or paying for these ridiculous plans that are hidden in USAID and all of these other government agencies. So they can miss me with the pay down the debt talk. Now, playing devil's advocate, I do not think that if as much money is recovered in waste, fraud, and abuse that we believe there will be, I do not think a one-time payment to Americans to send a message that says, hey, this is your money, here it is back to you. They say it's a gimmick. I don't see it that way. I think it is the American people's money. Again, we're talking a one-time payment, and they're talking about taking 20% of the anticipated savings they're going to get from DOGE and one time giving the American people something back. I think it's a nice gesture. Does it earn Donald Trump goodwill? Absolutely. But I understand the argument for either side. I am just, as of right now, fully in favor of what Doge is doing. I am definitely leery. What is Elon Musk's, end game? What does he get out of this? You don't get anything for free. However, until I see some obvious conflict of interest or something, I'm just thrilled with the waste that they are uncovering, as well as the fraud and abuse. And hopefully we see some people in silver bracelets for corruption as well. But that might be a pipe dream. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Democrats into acting a bit juvenile, being a bit acerbic and truculent with their language. As a result, coming across as very irritating and of the mindset that, as I've said repeatedly over the last several weeks, they still sound like they're in campaign mode, still spewing the same kind of stuff that you were trying to spew when you were attempting to prevent him from becoming the 47th president of the United States of America. That ship has sailed. He's in office now, and you have to let him act, see what he's going to do, and judge him accordingly, as opposed to reacting to everything that he says. But he knows they're going to react to what he says because they think that's the kind of thing that can galvanize folks out there to see their way of thinking, and as a result, it will turn them against Trump. They are wrong. It will not work, and I think that he's playing that game. We'll see if they give into it.
One observation, and then I want to take it a step deeper down this hole. The observation is the biggest word you use on this show, Stephen A. Smith, is mayonnaise, okay? Truculent, way too big a word. Don't be bringing your sesquipedalia into my house. You understand? I don't want to have a thesaurus next to me so I can understand what you're saying.
And
I got to teach you.
I need one from y'all.
Yeah, I don't know what trucks have to do with this.
I know.
If you're
anti-truck,
driving, you get more money.
We get it. Stephen A's got a problem with trucks. He's a sports car.
I don't know what the trucks are.
He's a sports car guy. Everybody knows. I see him in the convertible with his wind blowing through his hair. Now, I think you guys are greatly underestimating Trump's desire for the gratification of giving people a check. I mean, you remember how he signed the pandemic checks so that people knew they came from him? Yeah. The idea that he could send people a check in America, the gold that is politically, and the amazing bait that it is for Democrats, because they're already doing it. You guys are both right. The Democrats are jumping on this and saying this is crazy, which doesn't hit right with people, even though they may never deliver. Now, the idea of getting the budget down, getting the budget under control. Yeah. But he's not doing that with his proposal. He doesn't want to touch the entitlements. He wants his tax cuts, and he's about $1.5 trillion off, where his own party wants him, Bill. So is Trump the problem of the goal that you stated?
Well, we'll see, because it is a fantasy to believe that you're going to have revenue to offset a tax cut. So it really isn't a tax cut. He just wants what he had. It's ongoing. That's what will happen. And Congress will pass that. So they'll extend the Trump tax cuts because working Americans can't pay any more taxes. And the Democratic Party doesn't quite understand that, but people are up to here. They can't pay any more tax. Trump understands that. But as I said, this is a little gimmicky, all of this Doge stuff, but I like Doge. I like it. But I want it to be run very methodically and in a very clear manner with very few mistakes.
Well, then you're not happy this far.
Well, I'm giving it a 70%.
Go ahead. Then you can't be
If you like watching videos like this one, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
happy.
70%.
Then you can't be happy, Bill. Bill, you just finished saying you want it to be run methodically.
Yeah.
That's what you just said.
That's what he said.
Clearly, that's not Elon Musk.
Nope.
Well,
That's not Elon Musk.
Wait.
So again,
I don't know if that's fair. He's only been doing this for 3 weeks.
Okay.
Let's give him a little time. I do believe that he should be very cautious in his public statements, and sometimes he isn't. You're correct there. But 3 weeks, come on.
Well,
let's see how it evolves.
Well,
punch your way out of the corner, Stephen A. Punch your way out of the corner. Don't let him put you.
Hold on, Bill. Hold on, Bill. Well, I'm not in the corner because Bill said I was wrong, but then he said I was right. So hey, I'm not in the corner at all. Here's the deal, Bill. You talked about him being meticulous and what have you.
Yes.
You said it's only been 3 weeks.
Yes.
He has to be careful about how he speaks. He has to be careful about how he conveys and disseminates a message to the masses. He can't be doing that. He just can't be talking willy-nilly. He can't be coming up with stuff about Social Security that's wrong, that Guatemala that's wrong, and other things. You got to be on point. You got to be precise. You've got to be accurate, because in the end, if you're not, plus you're bloviating in the Oval Office like you are the right-hand man of the president, which he is, which is scared the living hell out of a whole bunch of American citizens. Why? Because he's not an elected official. He's not somebody that's a member of Trump's cabinet that's been confirmed by Congress or by the Senate or anything like that. He's a special advisor to the president who seems to capitulate and acquiesce to every single thing he wants done. And so when you're doing that, but then you're coming out and you're not accurate, and on top of that all, you're a bit loose with your language, that's not the kind of person that I know Bill O'Reilly to stand up for.
I want him to be
that's
precise.
not the Bill O'Reilly I know.
I wrote on X that I want the leader of X, I wrote on X, to be more precise in his language.
I don't know if Stephen A. here is referring to specific things that Elon Musk has said about Doge's actions or stuff that they've uncovered, but maybe I've said this before on here, but I find everything they're doing to be extremely transparent. There's a website you can go to that shows everything that they've uncovered and that they plan on cutting. I think there's even an X account that details all of that information. I think Trump's administration is being very transparent with the American people. And even if people don't like the way Elon Musk and Doge are going about uncovering waste, fraud, and abuse, if they weren't doing it, if Trump, if Elon Musk, if Doge wasn't uncovering this stuff, do you think the American people would ever know about it? Hopefully everyone realizes that's a rhetorical question, because I say there's not a chance in hell. And then when I hear people like Bill and Stephen A., I understand what they're saying by wanting this audit of our government to be done methodically, but methodically in U.S. government over the course of my lifetime means it doesn't get done. I would rather have a lean federal workforce with job openings to fill with good people than a bloated one that just keeps going with the status quo because we're going, quote unquote, methodically through this audit and nothing ever changes. And we just keep stacking more workers on top of more workers that never get fired. That's where I stand on it. Anyway, let's wrap up the video.
Look, but the Democratic Party is going to hate whatever Trump Musk does. They're twins now. They're like Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger. Maybe that movie?
Which one, Schwarzenegger?
That's like Musk and yeah.
Which one, Schwarzenegger?
I don't know.
But
they're
the key
twins.
question.
So everything that they do is evil.
Good question.
Right. Even if they cut $1 trillion out of way, that's evil.
I know.
That's evil.
That's the trap.
Right.
That's the trap.
And so everybody should just step back. And Harry Hopkins, and I know Stephen A. is a big Harry Hopkins fan, used to play point guard for Golden State. He ran the FDR government. You guys should go to BillO'Reilly.com every morning and read the message.
I'm blocked.
Why? Why are you blocked?
I tried to get BillO'Reilly.com. It says you're not allowed on this site.
Well, that's because of you. But have your wife do it. She can get right on.
She's a charter member.
But FDR had Harry Hopkins and a whole bunch of other guys.
I'm not against kitchen.
Right? And JFK had O'Donnell and all the Boston guys.
Not against it. I'm not. Look, there's.
Well, Bill O'Reilly's right. No matter what Donald Trump and Elon Musk do, no matter what they uncover, no matter how much money they save the government, no matter how much corruption they uncover, the Democrats will find a way to oppose it, which they should be ashamed of and embarrassed about. They're a loser party right now. And frankly, I hope they get their shit together, because what's the phrase? A rising tide lifts all boats. I want both parties to be strong because they hold one another accountable. But right now, the left is a complete clown show. And I think even as big of an epidemic as TDS has been, I think EDS is the next big epidemic the left wing needs to worry about. A lot of them have it severely already. But we want to hear from you. What do you all think about Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and Doge and their efforts thus far? And what do you think about the conversation between Bill O'Reilly, Chris Cuomo, and Stephen A. Smith? Let us know in the comments. Anyway, as always, really appreciate you watching, and we will see you on the next one.